What's going on, everyone? We're out in the garage. It's a little bit smaller out here now. We got the Jeep. It's winter outside, and I just got done snow blowing, and I was hanging up my insulated coveralls on my new coat rack that I made out here in the garage with my heavy-duty coat hangers. And I got everything hanging in front of the diesel heater to dry it out. And I really wanted to just share with you today something new that Angela and I are trying. We drink a lot of water. We go through a ton of bottled water, 2-3 cases a week, and we're just kind of getting sick of lugging cases of water around, and not only that, generating all the trash that comes along with it. A couple weeks ago, I had a company called Epic Water Filter reach out to me and ask me if I wanted to do any videos on any of their products. Just so happens it was perfect timing on my end. See, about a year or so ago, we tried to install an under-counter water filter. It was installed in line with our kitchen sink, but we have such low water pressure coming from the street, it robbed so much pressure that it made the kitchen sink useless. And then we tried a new refrigerator. It has a water dispenser inside the door, and we thought that was going to work out great. And for the most part, it does. But again, the water pressure that gets robbed going through the filter system just makes it painfully slow to fill a bottle or a glass or whatever you're drinking out of. So when Epic sent me an email, I was like, this is perfect timing, because we were just talking about doing something different and we weren't sure what. We were going to put a second spigot in the sink. Epic does have that type of system, but we decided to go with a water pitcher. Epic has two pitchers to choose from, two filters. The first one is a pure filter, and this is the one that we chose, and this works great for anybody on a municipal or domestic system. It has water delivered right to their house by pipes. This thing filters out 99.9% of contaminants, including PFAS, heavy metal, fluoride, and pesticides. The other pitcher that's available is called the Nano, and that does all of the same stuff as the Pure, but it also addresses bacteria in the water. So that's pretty cool. So that works great for somebody that's maybe on a shallow well or gets their water from a spring, or maybe just doesn't have control over their water supply. Regardless of which one you choose, both systems are great and will provide nice, clean drinking water. So the design of the filter pitcher is pretty simple. You pour the water in the top, and it filters down through the filter, and then it gets captured in the lower reservoir. So you have an upper reservoir where you dump the water in, and then it filters through the filter, and it comes out clean in the lower reservoir. Then you use the pitcher to dump the water into whatever you're drinking from. You can even put the pitcher in the refrigerator so you have nice, cold, clean drinking water. The setup is pretty straightforward. You take everything out of the box, you assemble it, and then you run the first few reservoirs full of water. You just run it through and then dump it. That's what's recommended in the instructions. The filter is designed to filter 150 gallons of water. That should take you about 90 days or so. 150 gallons of water divided by 24 bottles in a case. That's 3 gallons per a case. Anyway, I asked Siri, and Siri says that's about 50 cases of water. Kind of a big deal. That's 50 cases of water I don't have to lug around. There's a resettable timer on the top lid of the pitcher, and when you start new, you hit that button, turns it on. When you change out the filter, you push that button for 8 seconds, it'll reset, and then you're good for another 90 days or 150 gallons of water. There's also a subscription service available, so if you want to just have your filters delivered to your house automatically, Epic Water Filter can certainly hook you up with that as well. So we've been using the filtered pitcher now for a couple days. We set it up the other night, and the first thing we noticed was our water, although it was clean, we do have good drinking water where we live. It's provided by the city. You can always tell if it comes from the tap or bottled water. There's just a little bit of an aftertaste to it. It's not terrible, but you definitely can notice it. And so what we did is we filtered this through, and we tested out a glass of water. We both agree that that aftertaste is gone. So you might be skeptical to read that 99.9% of all contaminants are filtered out. I mean, that's a pretty bold statement. They did do some third-party testing. That data is available on their website if you want to check it out. But I did an old school test because I don't really have any scientific stuff. Are you familiar with Mayo water enhancers? I filled up the pitcher, and then I put some in the upper reservoir, and when it filtered through, when it came out of the bottom reservoir, the orange was completely gone. So there's definitely a filter in there, and it's definitely doing its job. Something's going on in that filter, and it's better than drinking water out of the tap. So this water filter pitcher It's definitely something I didn't think I'd ever use or have a need for, but here I am using it and I'm happy with it so far. The great thing about the pitcher is you could take it with you. So let's say use it at home, you could take it with you if you have a camp or a weekend house or something like that. You could take it with you. You could take it traveling, and then you're always drinking filtered water. So if you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you. You are better than most. I put a link in the description to the Epic water filter down below, so you can check them out. If you're looking for a way to filter your water and you want something that's convenient, maybe check them out, see if it'll work for you. So far, we're pretty happy with ours. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.